Hello, everyone. Welcome back. It's Josh here, composing live, where we have an up close and personal look at how music is made. It's been a couple of months since our last live stream. During that time, I took the summer off. I hope you guys had a great break as well. For me, it was quite busy with moving, setting up with studio in this new room, and then I also got a new movie that I scored over that time. So it's been a very productive summer, yet there wasn't really much time to do anything else. So we are here now in this new live stream today to reconvene something that I always like to do, which is make music, and what better yet to do Alexandre Desplat's score to the Imitation Game. This is one of my favorite themes and something that really spoke to me, so I thought it would be fun to recreate this. And hey, Guy, it looks like we have some old friends coming back on board as well. Good to see you. With the score today, what we're going to be doing is going over the main theme, which is track one if you go on their soundtrack album. And I just took the Imitation Game theme and I transcribed it. I kind of finished pretty much everything I needed to do. So I'll play you back what I was working on. I did this all today, just in one day. It's a bit rough, but you guys will get the idea. And then we can talk about it, and we can also maybe go over recreating this as well. It's good practice to see how fast and how productive you can be with, a set of instruments and just kind of knowing the notes ahead of time. It really does help your production skills. Without further ado, I'm just going to go ahead and play back the music, and let's see how it sounds. Let me know if you guys can hear or if you can't hear, as you've seen before. Here we go. This is my mock-up to Imitation Game theme. Okay, well, that is a wrap on that one. No, just kidding. Um, the reason why I did this ahead of time is first two things is so that it's more entertaining for you guys, but also for me to really just get a really good understanding, a good grasp of this track. So as far as transcribing, it's one of the best things you can do is to take one of your favorite pieces and transcribe it. Sometimes you can do it over sheet music, which I've done in the past. You guys heard probably the Moldau series where by Bedřich Smetana. I did like a bazillion episodes on that one. That took forever. But on this one, film scores, especially with the modern film scores, are a lot easier to transcribe by ear, I think, just because there's not a whole lot of orchestration compared to something like the classical stuff that's out there. Not to say it's not easy or not hard in terms of trying to make it work, but whatever you can get your hands on that you think is in your level is a great start. So this one, I would say, if I were to rate this piece, I think it's on medium, maybe a medium easy, only because there's a lot of repetition. However, getting those notes down and getting those details is really crucial. So we'll kind of go over that together. All I'll say before I recreate this piece from scratch is actually just to kind of go over some of the chords and also the instruments I've used. So mainly this is orchestra, so you have your woodwinds over here. And I actually acquired recently the CSW or Cinematic Studio Woodwinds. This is what one of the flutes here. Sounds great. Recorded in Australia. I think it's good to just kind of mix and match your instruments, and whatever sounds good, just make it work. I partly wanted to test out the CSW stuff as well, and as you'll see, I have some Spitfire stuff as well. With the brass down below, I have some samples, and then you have your another samples, and then your trombone all together. Yeah, and with basically with all the brass, woodwinds, and strings, there's nothing too out of the norm. Besides the strings here, which you can see the all specific Pacific stuff, excuse me, there is piano. I'm just gonna skip over the strings to the piano, and the piano has some interesting tones in the original. I'll play the original here. Maybe in the beginning as well. This is the original track. So what I was trying to do is try to get as close as to the tone as possible, and I'm thinking it's a Yamaha C7 grand piano, and so I used Alicia keys by Native Instruments. That's a Yamaha C7. And then you just have to kind of get a good amount of reverb in there. You can do some convolution or whatever to get that tone. And then I use Celeste as well. So with that, there is one other thing I'll mention besides timpani here is I'm going to go down to this Pulse instrument, which I find really fascinating because a lot of times when you're composing something, you don't want the low end to be so muddy. And there's a lot of low end in the song, as you can hear. But there's also this little kind of sine wave pulse thing that's going on right here. And this particular instrument is a synth from Zebra HZ, and it's just one of those stock presets that I found somewhere here. It was a HS push under, but then I had to make an arpeggiator out of it, and so then I just added this little tweak, and it plays really nice. You have to be in this little range though. Let's see here. Well, now it sounds kind of funky. Oh, there you go. So you have to put the mod wheel up, I guess. That's gonna be a problem. Maybe I should go up like this. There you go. Anyways, so that is interesting because while the string bass is playing and tubas are playing, there's a little bit of that in there as well. It's just kind of in the background the whole time. So I think that's fascinating. I always noticed that when I heard this piece 10 years ago, and I've always wanted to do it. I was like, what the heck, I'll do it today as a celebration for coming back out of the summer. With that being said, yeah, lots of really cool instruments. I even doubled up some of the strings. I'm not sure why I just did it here and not throughout the rest. But I mean, you could probably get away with not adding this string part. I just for some reason didn't continue that. Yeah, there's some cool string parts here. In this part, this is one of my favorite parts actually. It's really light and sprinkly. Right, and we'll probably go into that a little further as we do this one. Okay, so all of that being said, by the way, thanks, Guy, for the comment there. As far as getting all this done, we should probably talk about the key and the tempo. So if you ever want to recreate this one yourself, just know that it's in 104 beats per minute, and it's a key of F minor. So what to do? Now I'm going to show you a few tricks, but basically, if I'm ever not sure what to do or uncertain, what I'll do is I'm gonna go and put back my versions, and I guess I could just do it here per se, and yeah, maybe I'll just do that. So I'm gonna save up, and in case I mess up anything, I could always go back and do this. I just said beta because this is a new template that I'm working in as well. Just because I added the CSW stuff. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and select all my instruments here, and then I'm going to now make them disappear. We're gonna go new version. So now it's on version 2. So basically, if we're not sure of anything, we can maybe go back to my cheat sheet, or and to be honest, this is also a cheat sheet. Let me just do that one more time. Whoop. Over here, this is really my cheat sheet. So anytime I play back a soundtrack, I have it so that it's against the grid. Let me just go play with the metronome. And I decided to just keep it at 1 flat tempo, right? And then you can make your markers and go to town. So let's go ahead and just talk about what happens. The big thing about this piece is just the sheer amount of notes and the rhythm that happens in the piano. Very repetitive, and that's partly due to the way this movie and the story was. It's kind of about cracking the code of some mysterious computer, or I think it was like from the World War II. There was some kind of telegram that would speak in code, and Alan Turing from the story was, and this is based on a true story. He had a team of people and you know, a room-sized computer that was trying to crack the code, and so think about this big computer crunching numbers and things like that, and this motif, which is right here. That little thing is sort of the crunching the number. There's also this counterpoint happening in the left hand too. I think it goes, or let's see. Let me hear that one more time in the second part. Yeah. So. Yeah, so that little thing is happening throughout, and it's almost like a duality, some kind of push and pull. A lot of like, it almost feels like you're in a weird predicament or a dilemma. So that's the feel there. So if we were to record that, sometimes I like to record a little slower just to get the details of the velocity, and when I do that, then I can speed it up, and it should line up perfectly on the grid. But let's just do a run of that real quick up until, and honestly we can copy and paste some of this, but I'll play this for a bit. Here we go. It's a little bit slower. You know what? Let me try my different finger. I don't know, a weird funky finger. Let's try again. Okay, and then you start to get in this hypnotic thing. It's really hard to keep it consistent. I'm not a concert pianist by any means, but what you can do is you get the idea there. So you can do a soft quantize. That works a lot of the times. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it gets off of the grid a little bit, but that's okay. So I'm going to speed this up now and just listen back. All right, and so you have the option of putting the pedal down. I did that just because I'm used to doing that, but in the song or in the actual track, it almost sounds like there isn't pedals. So I'm gonna try a little bit of this. So now it sounds a little drier. There's more definition. So I might actually do without the sustain. Hey Saturn, good to see you. Hello from Japan. Wow. What time is it over there? It must be morning over for you guys. Okay, so that's the idea. So then with that, there's some other things happening, right? We have so then you have this little Celeste that sparkles over it, and it's not, honestly, it's not the whole time. So it kind of does this. I'll play that now. Around this part. Anyways, so that's kind of happening there. I'll double check that. I also wanted to make sure that this last part of the piano is good to just copy and paste. I feel like maybe there's a mistake here towards the end. You can kind of see on here, this is now on the downbeat, so let's fix that. And then right over here, there you can see some of these just got off on the quantize. Okay, hopefully that's all of it. Okay, it's not aligning with the right and left hand. As you see, it's kind of flamming. So I'll do another soft quantize on some of those. Okay, but you know, the less perfection or less quantize, the better for a piece like this. So then I'm just gonna sort of push this and extend this out and do some copy and paste, because there's a shit ton, pardon my French, a shit ton of this da-da-da-da-da. It's just the whole time you're playing that. And oh, you also mocked up the Imitation Game Saturn. Nice, awesome. Hey, Emperor of Cheese, he's back, the man, myth, and legend. Okay, so let's go over to the next section. So let me just make sure that the Celeste is done here. Let's hear how this sounds. Okay, so as you can see here, that shouldn't be there. So let's go ahead and put that over on that side. And I think the Celeste ends after that extension part. One more. Okay, you hear some flute, cello. Alright, gotta love that. So, what I will do is, I mentioned there's one more of these Celeste, so let's do that. Like that. Okay. So, we more or less have the piano and the Celeste down. Now let's add the bass line. So I can start with the easy part, which is I'll quantize the pulse note. I'm actually going to color this green and start there. So we have this F. Okay, and then after the F, we go to a G or A flat and G. Let's also shape this. Oh boy, I'm not sure. It's really weird. At first, the mod wheel up was the one that made it sound more like a sine wave. Oh, you know what? You know, I think actually it's not the mod wheel, it's the velocity that is triggering the shape. Okay. So then that's what we want. We want that little, it's like a pillow sound. It's just feathering across. Good. Okay. So then we have that, and you just do that throughout. This is the bass line. Bass line is playing this throughout basically, and you'll hear it again down the road. And I think maybe it plays one more time actually, like this. Yeah, like that. Okay, so then let's go to the next instrument. So I always thought this was weird that you're having a pulse and a string kind of rubs against each other in a way, but it works if it's something really light like that, like just a feathery pulse sound. Sometimes a pulse can be very heavy, and it can take up a lot of headroom and frequencies, but this one is such a minor one that I think this works. Here's the next part. We're gonna hit the really low F of the bass, and it goes something like this. I think we can go a bit higher. Let's try again. Well, we'll double check that. I'm wondering if I'm second guessing myself if this isn't the right octave or not. I would imagine that's what we want. C is really low. It actually does work in this context because most orchestral bass players will have a C extension on their bottom fret, but you know, sometimes you can't count on that. So anyways, that does it for the bass. I'm gonna stop on this part now with the rest of this. The cello is basically that, but an octave higher. And then let's make sure that there's no overlap. It looks like there's an overlap on both of these notes, so let's fix that now. Cool. Very nice. All right. I just realized that my camera was off, but you guys can hear me. And I'll take a moment now to just read through some of the notes here. Ember Cheese, hope you've been well. Yeah, things have been amazing. I'm liking the rhythm so far, is what he said. Great. Yeah, this is so hypnotic, and it's amazing how a repetitive note like this can almost just get lost once you hear other things. And Saturn Japan, the piano arpeggio creates an impressive atmosphere. Yeah, definitely does. You know, the key is to just get the right amount of reverb dialed in. You could even put a little bit of like delay on there, perhaps. Anyways, that really does do a lot. As far as the next step, I actually wanted to sort of just accentuate this moment. I think it's this part right here. Oops. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just double this up with a solo cello, like that. For some reason it's not playing. Okay. Okay. Now, let me just double check something. Okay, yeah, so that C will play on the cello as well. Okay, great. So the next step is to add maybe viola. Oh, actually, okay. So if you can hear that, there's some a horn and bassoon. I mean, it could just be bassoon, but I think adding a horn and doubling up with that really helps. So then you're just basically playing the same thing. So let's start there. come to that next part. I mentioned horn, so if you double up on horn here, that really helps. I'll do this descant horn, and you just have to kind of tweak that a little bit, bring that down in the mix. Nice. Okay, great. So that's the idea there. Also, Emperor Cheese, I skipped your question about the Hollywood Fantasy Orchestra. I haven't had a chance to play around with that too much. I've seen demos of it. It sounds amazing. And you know, it's nice to acquire those things as we go, but I don't have whole lot of fantasy stuff coming up my way. So, you know, if I get a new gig where it's like a animated Lord of the Rings series, I'll definitely get that. Uh, but as of yet, I've been doing more rom-coms and thrillers, so nothing like that so far. All right, so there is that portion. I think we have everything done here. I don't really hear viola necessarily. I thought there was viola here, but let's go to the next part now. And this is where the melody starts. So there's this little flute solo that's featured here. I'll use a CS on this one, CSW. Let's hear that again. Okay, let's try that. Okay, I think I could do better. I actually misplayed a note. And also, I gotta do better with my assigning of articulations. Let's try again. Okay, one more time. I'll put the metronome on. Now, on top of that, is there anything else? Is there another woodwind doubling, perhaps? So I hear bassoon, and so the bassoon is doing something slightly different than cellos, I think, and so we have to play that. I'm not sure if I caught that on the original one that I mocked up. Okay, so bassoon is actually going throughout. It's not doing octaves. It's just kind of. Let's see if I can. It's doing this note and it's going down and down. That's all that's doing. Assigning our articulations as we go. Cool. And then the let's just double check the piano here. So what's playing here right now only is the piano so far. So I think the piano just keeps going. No, 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 no. Let's check. Okay, the only thing that changes is the right hand goes up an octave. So after the da 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 da, on this new section, we're just gonna move this all up. But what's interesting is you'll notice that the thumb is shared on this C middle note. So what we're gonna do is we're going to just copy this note, all of these guys over here, down to the octave below. So the left hand is also playing that. Also, there's some dynamic shaping we can do. So let's also do that in the piano before we forget. So first off, kind of have to maybe fade into it a little more. So about here. And just kind of go up from there. And then as we go to these transitions, I like to sort of swell them up and down. Okay, we can also make this sound a little bit tighter. So I had it loose on purpose. And what I mean by tighter is just make sure the right hand and the left hand is right on the grid as much as we can. I'll just do a soft quantize on that. It's also maybe some of the velocities can be a little more consistent and throughout. As you can see, there's some of these notes there. I mean, you don't want to go so robotic, but it helps to, at least in the more energetic parts, to bring them up and be more present. Okay, so the next part of all of this is the strings that play, and also I think flute doubles here. So we have this. Well, actually, before we even do that, let's do more of the background of things. So the bass line, we're going to be adding that in, and then we're going to go up from there. So our bass line, starting with the Pacific bass. Let's see, I'm too high. Yeah, so maybe I'll shape this slightly different. Big thing would be to boost this up slightly so that we have a little more headroom. Okay, except that's the wrong spot. Let's go right there. Okay, and then I think let's double check this recording. I'll go down an octave to that one. Okay, so we do that, and let's go ahead and take that to the cello. And, ooh, we got to shape that though, huh? So let's actually copy this entire event, like so. Very nice. So, while that is happening, then we could also make sure that the CC7 data is up as well. Looks like that did go up. Interesting. Did I move the CC7 data instead of the expression? That's weird. I'm gonna fix that right now. Okay, that wasn't intentional. Yeah. Okay. Oops. Wrong key. Sorry about that. So let's fix that over here. Boom and boom. Do that one more time. I kind of get a little anal retentive, so to speak, with some of the programming. Okay, let's double check this recording. Okay, so you can kind of hear that there's viola playing this line, but it sounds like it's an octave higher. I think I'm hearing that. Okay, and let me just take a look at my cheat sheet here. See if I'm doing this correctly. So, oh, okay. I had a feeling it's a little bit different. So let's listen to what the viola does here. That's what I heard earlier today. Interesting. Okay, so that's a totally different thing. There are also these splits that I hear. This is one of my favorite parts of this piece, actually, is this little section. So we'll come back to that. Let me switch back and try that. Man, it's crazy. Your ears start to play tricks on you when you're working on something all day. But let's get this. So we have. See, I'll just program this in. So technically it should be 2 bows, but I kind of like just reattacking it with the curve instead. And I think it was something like that. So we'll just do that again one more time. Okay, and we'll shape that. Let's try again. Now, the other thing to consider is how much swell that we want to do for all of this. A lot of the swell will happen in the mid instruments like these pads, so just kind of keep that in mind. For instance, it's a little bit flat here. So we have 2 options. We can try to shape it with just whatever is left in this head space or headroom, or when it's that tight, you might just have to go into the CC7 and do a little bit of that. I'll do a little more swelling here. So I think that'll help in the long run. So the next part is doing this viola part with another instrument. So viola's on the right side. And so what we want to do is let's go ahead and add some trombone to the mix. It's viola and the trombone generally are pan to the right. We're going to keep that in the same vicinity. Okay. The only problem with trombone when it's that loud, it pops out. So we want the trombone to blend more. So let's just bring some of that down. Could probably bring up that just slightly, and then we can also, I think, a little more reverb on the trombone would be in order. Okay, so one other thing that I'll do is double up the bass line with tuba. So I'll just find the clip and paste it into here, like so. Brass, adding the trombone and tuba here just reinforces everything that we're doing. So we need that because when the melody comes in and it's nice and loud and strong, so we just want to try to just give a little more warmth and depth going there. I think we're ready to add the high strings. Let me just hear this one more time. Okay, so one other thing is there's also a horn. As you can hear, the horns start to kick in, and it's doing some chords here. So what I'll do is bring in this, and I think it's actually on. Okay, and it's something around the root there, but what if I went and make sure they're in sustain? I think it's in this range, so I'm hearing like a fifth. There could also be a mid. I missed that last time. It could be something like that. Most likely it is, but let's look at the next part. So then if this is playing. Boom. Let's do a re-attack on this one though. Notice how these notes are ahead of the beat, and that's kind of the way to do this one at least. Okay, so I have E flat and B flat. I wonder how the G would sound in that. So this would be some kind of suspended chord. I don't think that's right, but let's try it. What if we got rid of the top note? That could work. Let's see. Hey, Sam. Good to see you, man. Let's see here. Yeah, so I'm just playing around with sounds, but it's going to be something like that all the way through. So then if we go do this again. something around there. I'm not too convinced with the choices here, but this doesn't rub as much. Going from 3 horns to 2, 3 horns to 2 every other measure. I think I'll do that just to play it safe. So then if you go, let's go there, fill that in. Okay, so then this is going to be a second half starting. I should start there actually. There you go. And then this would be somewhere here. Like that. Okay, and this is how it sounds with everything. So then, if we have that, we can start adding the melody. And the melody would be in both of these strings, actually. It goes something like this. Although it's an octave higher. Okay, let's see if I can remember that. Okay, let's try that together in recording with the metronome. Here we go. It wasn't perfect, but I think I got most of the shaping to where I like. So if we were just to fix those 2 notes that I flubbed. See. Dee da da. Okay, so then you would have. This goes to the E flat. Okay, and then just a little bit of like legato shaping, making sure, of course, these are legato. All right, timing could be better. I mean, you could just re-record it, or you can just tweak it as you go. The great thing about working in samples and virtual orchestra is you can always fix that later. Because again, as a composer, you have to realize you're more of an idea person than you are a performer. And so that never really bothered me. It bothers me when I do it in front of people, like doing it live on air. But I'm trying to get over that as anyways too. So it's okay to make mistakes. You could always fix it later. As a composer, that is. If you're a performer, that's a whole different story. I think it's good to do both, be able to perform well as compose, but that's another thing. So we have that. There's also woodwinds. I think there's a flute that's doubling with the violin. So we could go ahead and I actually like doing on multiple flutes, not just one flute here. So let's hear how this would sound. Um, you know what? I also noticed that there's there should be a note here like that. Okay, so let's hear how loud the flute is compared to everything else. Okay, let's listen. Cool. Um, I feel like it can go even a little louder. And maybe we'll reshape this one. Cool. Also, this note compared to, well, actually these are copy and pasted over, but this note itself, as you can see, this is on the grid of a quarter note. So way ahead of the beat. All of the notes really in this section, but I feel like that rushed a bit more than I wanted to. Right, this transition between the two. Yeah, that sounds better. Okay, so there's that, and then I think there's also some clarinet and other things. Let's see. So you can definitely hear some clarinet. It could be maybe oboe is doubling with the flute here. It's probably subtle. And then what we're hearing in addition is probably the viola part. Is that right? I'm hearing something else. Okay, so the clarinet and bassoon are playing the bass line, looks like. So what I'm going to do is we'll go ahead and copy the cello part. Let's find multiple clarinets, multiple bassoon, and let's go ahead and bring this up an octave like this. Something around there. Okay, the clarinet needs to go higher. And let's shape some of that down below. Hey, not to Puck. Newbie user for Cubase. I have questions about the multi-output contact. How, yes. Didn't see track on your range window. Interesting. I think what you're asking is for Vienna Ensemble Pro. If you're looking at the output levels or output channels, you can do that over here in your different Vienna Ensemble. Except I have mine different now. I set mine up where it's one output per instrument, so I don't have the multi outputs anymore. But that's where you would find it. You just go there, and you would go to, I believe, here, or let's see, how do you do that anyways? You right click, or is it this? Oh, you go to this little drop down, go to activate outputs, and when you click on that, the other output should show up. I believe that's the question you're asking. If not, it'll be inside the contact player. If you right click, usually, or go to the outputs in the menu, you can find it there. All right, so let's see. This clarinet needs to be shaped a little bit more. Let's try a little louder, actually. Okay. Hey, Sam says, sounds like there is some brass sweetening in the middle of there. I don't know if you added it already. Yeah, there's some brass stuff that I've added right there. Right over there. The only thing that's missing, I believe, is the little triangle. There's some triangle hits playing all the way through from this section, so I'm just gonna draw it in. So I'll do C3 and just put that across. I think it's every measure or every other measure. Maybe it's every other measure. Let's try that first and see how that sounds. Alright, it's too loud. Okay, too soft. Let's find somewhere in between that. There you go. Kind of being on the beat there. Okay. This one, because of how much the strings are rushing it, I have to push the triangle beat here slightly. Cool. So that is that. Now, when you go to this part in the piano, I think we could maybe swell some of it. We could also try experiment with some sustain here, because the piano becomes more in the background, where the strings become the foreground. So sometimes you could put some sustain to mask it and make it blend more. So this comes in my favorite part. I love these really cool chord progressions that just give you a double take, so to speak. So when you listen to something, you're like, what the heck was that? I love those moments. This is a double take moment for me in the piece. And if you guys are familiar with Downton Abbey and the main theme for that, they do something similar where they kind of and the turnaround chord progression, like right before it goes back to the home key or the home chord, is not the conventional. So it goes something like this. It goes, let's see, and then it goes to this E. Basically, those are the chord progressions here. So the one that got me to be like, whoa, what the heck is that? Is this E major 7 chord? It goes, I'll play it again. So this second one, I don't have like a fancy Cubase way of showing this, but it's like there is a sharp 11 in there. And then there's also a 6th, but I can't do both, so I'll just put that sharp 11. And it sounds like this. So it resolves upwards. It was just an extension of that E major chord. And then it goes back to the F minor right here. So that is, you know, on the piano it's one way to show it, but it's even more powerful when you can do it with the orchestra. So let's do a little bit of that. I'm just gonna play it back so you guys can hear the example. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and I mentioned Downton Abbey because Downton Abbey does something similar here with that extension, where you're just like elongating one chord. Chord progression or theory-wise, the C minor is the fifth of the F minor chord, a lowercase 5, so to speak, and then it goes to the D flat major, which is a 6, uppercase Roman numeral 6, and then goes back to the lowercase Roman numeral 5. Here, this goes to this E major is a little funky, but E major 7 is the 7th chord, but it's not the E flat, so it's like a borrowed thing. I'm thinking it's some kind of tritone substitution of some kind. I'm not so much into that, but I think that's what it is. Something similar to that approach. So, with that being said, let's go to the chords. The easiest way to go about this is just do the C. And, oh, it looks like I took out all of this bass, this sweet bass stuff. So let's actually add that in. Okay, so here, this is basically the same bass line. Oh, I think we just keep it up though. We go like this. And then same thing. Okay, so that's good now. Maybe we can bring up the volume here. Okay, so I brought that up just slightly. And then here we have this bass line C. And that's going to follow the root of the chords here. D flat, F, or maybe low F. Okay, so you can probably won't be able to hear that unless you have really good headphones or loud subwoofers. But that's that. And volume-wise, we could probably boost that up even more. So perhaps here we just bring up this and keep it there. Okay, so now let's look at the bass line. The bass line here will go same. Actually, why don't we just copy these notes? We have this. I think it's that octave. Let's double check. Yeah, I think that's right. I think the only difference is this E should go down. Same with this one. E should go down. Okay, so let's shape it. Oh yeah. That's the brown note right there, that E. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to copy that to the cello. And I think I have to double check, but let's bring it up an octave for now. Let's also make sure these are all legato. Okay, so I'm going to check the recording. Okay. So what we that's right. What we need to do though is there's a split here. Either, huh? I'm curious. What if we split starting here just in general? So we go there. And what if it's something like this? I'm just curious. Let me hear that now. Either that or perfect fits all the way through. I think that might be better voice leading. Let's listen to this part now. Okay, so here we need to fix this. And let's shape this. Okay, same with the bass. Okay, cool. Now what we could do is go to the viola. Let's extend this out. And let's see what that starting note is. So it's just going which is that's the right note. So we have an E flat, and it's just repeating itself. But I'm not sure on the next part. Let's listen here. So it's also on the D sharp. Man, yeah, so this is a funky chord. What we would do, or what we call this, is a E major 7 to E major 7, sharp 11, add 13. So yeah, add sharp 11, add 13. Anyways, I think that's what it is. So then we go to C. Let's shape this real quick. Give it some push. Okay, all right, so then let's add the mids on the brass. So over here, well, actually let's do all the brass in that case. So the tuba is just playing what the bass line would be doing, which is easy. So I'll start there like that. Just gives it a little bit more color. And yeah, Sam has ice cream. Awesome. What flavor do you got there? Let's see. We have the trombone that can double up with, let's say, the cello. Let's see how this would sound. Oh yeah. Well, let's check these notes. So let's see here with this. Yeah, so this is the main recording for those jumping in. I'm kind of going back and forth on the real recording and the mock-up that I'm doing. So on this one, it sounds like I'm going. So it sounds like the horn is going up an octave, and it's going to the C sharp, and this one's still going to the B flat. Although this E is pretty low. What if I move that up to something like that? Without the melody, this sounds pretty foreboding, right? Or almost like there's a defeating feeling happening here. But that's the beauty of music. You can sort of mask things with some of the melody, which sounds a little more cheery, I guess you can say. Okay, so on the horns, let's just double check here. It's really hard to hear, but I'm guessing there's two notes. So let's play around. And I'm hearing this, and maybe we're doing C and E flat, like that. So let's just do a quick grid and go like this. All right, and then let's skip over this other part here. Okay, so this E flat might have to resolve. Let's hear again. Okay. So I'm not sure if this part is right, these two notes, but I just put that there for now. Wow, that's I'm hearing this a little bit different from earlier today. So I'm just gonna go with my instinct here. Let's hear how that sounds with everything, and just see if we need to tweak anything. Oh, we'll have to fix that. Oops, I meant to change that to... Okay, so that's one way to tackle that. We could add a third note somewhere here. Let's see, yeah. Oh, that should be F, sir. So we can maybe shape this a little better. So there you go. There's that part. Now we can sort of copy and paste that to maybe the lower bassoon, lower woodwind area. Because it'd be nice to include the entire orchestra here. This is sort of the big part. So we can do the cello line like this, but maybe, well, I don't know, we could double this, but let's go up. It's kind of like what the trombones are doing here. So hopefully this is not too loud. I think that works. I was like bracing myself. Now the clarinet, oboe, flute probably can do more of the heavy lifting with the melody with the strings. So listen to the strings, and I'm gonna play around with the melody. Let's go to this like that. Okay. Here we go. So it goes. And then, oops. Let's practice that in real time. Oops. Okay, and we'll have to blend that. I'm playing it a bit loud, so let's go ahead and try a little bit of that with just the strings. I'll put the metronome on. Okay, let's try again one more time. This time, let's make sure it doesn't replace it, so I'll do that. Let's try again. And then the woodwinds come in there. But on this part, what I like to do is fix one note. It's right here. It should be D. Okay. Timing wise, it's okay. I would just put a little bit of a bump there, a soft quantize. And then maybe the first few notes just can be a little louder. Oh yeah, but this is where we have to change the mode to replace. Okay, cool. And let's do that with the other one. No, too much. It's interesting how it dies down too much for me, so it's probably for both of these. That's better. Okay. So now that we have the melody in the strings, now we can copy that over to Woodwinds in the oboe and the clarinets, flute. So let's just copy both of these, bring this up to maybe 2 flutes on this one, and we'll do oboe solo, clarinet, 2 clarinets. Okay. Oops, there you go. And let's go ahead and make sure these connect and glue okay. Okay, flutes can go an octave higher. Oops, let's just do this one. Let's go. Okay, and let's listen to the clarinet too by itself. Cool. And then the other thing is make sure that we have their articulation set. I'm not sure if I did that for the strings as well. This is a good habit to get into, especially if you're doing it the way I'm doing it with the attribute mode in the expression maps. You kind of have to do it this way. You have to assign every single note. It's a little tedious. See, and right here, all these notes are assigned. For some reason, this is missing it. Oh, actually, I think we're okay. We're good on that. Okay, so I think we're good to move on. Let's listen to this section. Okay, so the only other thing is let's move some of these notes over. So these 2 notes seems to rush just slightly. And I'm just gonna shape some of this. It's weird how some notes just seem quieter than others. That shouldn't happen. Let's try it. It could be the timing too. Cool. Man, I love that chord transition though. So one of those things that you start to realize there's just so much to learn, whether it's chords, whether it's voice leading, orchestration, all the above. So this is another section that's really cool. This is let's see. I think it just kind of tapers off. Oh, actually, yeah. Now this is where the woodwind part starts. So this is where you really have to put on your critical listening skills and listen to the bass line. The bass line is pretty quick and sparse. It's like sprinkling these pizzicato notes. So what I'd like to do is use actually just a sketch pizzicato that I have. Okay, so this is the octave that we want to be in. Let's listen to that. You can really hear that that bass pulsing there. That's the synth pulse playing throughout. But with that, it's rubbing against these bass line notes. Let me play that again. So we have to figure that out. Let's do that together. Right. Let's listen a few more times. So it goes boom. Right. I'll go back and forth. Let's see how I do this. So unsolo this. Boom, 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 boom. That's what it is. Right. So that's kind of the idea, and that's the way I tackle that. Let's see. Whoop. Right. Boom, 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 boom. Oops. Well, something happened. Straight. Bum, 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 bum. There you go. So that's that. Oh, I flipped it. So there you go. That's the first half. Second half. Going back to this one. I lost it. Let's listen again. Boom, boom. Boom. Something like that. Boom, 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 boom. I had it. So that's it right there. And you know, velocity, some of it's a little uncertain sounding, so we'll just bring it up a little bit. Okay, so I got that 4 measures done. Let's try the next one. So there's like a 9th happening there. Yeah, like a G in that F. Something like that. Let's listen to that again. So there's a note, there's that sprinkle. I can't hear it. So there's that. Oops, let's try again. Is that right? Oh, okay, I gotta go up. And then all these go down. Like that. All right, and then yeah, I'll turn this off so we can hear that better. Okay, timing's a little bit off on some of these. Oh yeah, this one's really hard to hear because the timpani comes in. Boom, boom. And I think it's something similar where you just do the, but maybe go bum, bum, bum on Fs. Something like that. Okay, so this is a painfully grueling process, as you can see, to get this. But this really trains your ears. It's a great way to go about ear training, going back and forth. You know, it's a push and pull, tug of war kind of thing to get the notes out. But once you get it, it's set. There's you won't forget it in your mind as much as you just kind of know the idea or the concept behind it, and that's more important, is the concept, not the detailed notes, note for note kind of thing. It's more about the concept, and these are things I love about learning from other composers, is just why they went or made the decisions or choices on the way they approach this section. So you'll notice that in the other original, there's also some sprinkling of high strings. And at this point, looking at, let's see how much time we have. I kind of want to try to get more of the other things going. So I'm going to do the cheat sheet that I had done earlier today and just pull up what I did there so you can kind of see that in detail. So I'm going to copy and paste that to the new section. Okay, so over here you can see there's at least two things going on at all times. It's kind of quiet. Okay, and let's listen to it with the bass. Oh, sorry. This should be pizzicato. Let's see. Let's dial that in as well. Let's see. It could be more to do with velocity, so let's put that down just a bit. Okay, let's listen to pizzicatos one more time. There might be a mistake here. Let's double check this recording. I think there's this part where it goes dun dun. I think they play off of each other. I guess not. Maybe so they are playing the same stuff, but maybe here there should be something else happening, like a note here. Let's see. But like quieter. Yeah. Okay. So that's there, and I wasn't sure if it was pizzicato. It makes sense if both of them were pizzicato. I actually just did spiccato on that part. It almost sounds like pizzicato, but then the samples I have don't really sound like that. So I kind of did this where I just doubled up and made this one pizzicato. So there's almost kind of a faint spiccato, like a stringy, buzzy sound happening in the spiccato here, whereas this one maybe I bring it up a little more, and let's hear that now in context. This is it with solo. Let's see. See, without it, it sounds kind of doesn't have that energy. Sounds a little dead, not as bright. So that's just a trick, but I'll bring it down in the mix a little more. And now let's see what else is, that we need. Okay, so what we need here is just a good old pulse that's happening. This is not typical, I would say, in these type of period pieces like Downton Abbey or one of the Paradise. There's so many TV shows nowadays, but a lot of those shows like the BBC stuff, they use composers that do more traditional orchestration. So this is interesting to have this pulse play through. I think it's just on F the whole time. I mean, in the recording, it really shows up. You can hear it. It's a little too much for me in my taste, but I'll shape that. So let me go back a little bit. Okay, to me, I mean, I like that a little more than the really thuddy bass thing that's happening there. But going to the next part. Okay, so there's some piano. Does the piano change? Let's listen. So it just sounds like da 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 the whole time. So we'll just copy a line from that. Also, there should be some stuff here. I totally botched this part. I forgot about this entire section. We'll come back to that in a second. Let's do this right hand stuff. Let's do that over here. So we have, so let's go down. And this one, ooh, this is a good catch. I just realized that rhythm was a little off, so let's go back here. Something caught my attention. That is off. That is off. Oh no, there's a lot of stuff off on this part. That means that I'm gonna have to fix all of this at some point. but and that's just with the quantize that I was doing. Yeah, right here. Oh boy. Yeah, like that. That shouldn't be on the downbeat. And it's like every other 4 times. I hate when this happens. Let's see. Let's see if I caught it. Maybe, nope, it's right here too. It'll sound better too. You'll definitely hear a difference with that. There's just so much going on. Maybe first impression you probably won't hear it, but then when you hear a lot, then you'll start to hear these little mistakes. So let's kind of fix it as we go before we go to this next section. Yeah, I thought I caught it before, or else when you copy and paste, and yet you're kind of suffering with all the fixes that you have to do. And I as I'm glancing through, I might not have even caught all of them. So this is better than nothing. I'm just going to go through and do as much as I can. Okay, so there you go. Going back to this plucky woodwind section, we have here. Right, so let's bring down the volume just a bit. Oops, sorry. And then I keep jumping here. We'll go like this. And here we go. Maybe the previous volume was better, so I'll keep it there. And then there are some sparkly sounds that I'm hearing too. So in the Celeste over here, kind of between the gaps of the melody, there's a da-da-da-da, and just for the sake of time, what I had is this. So, well, actually, no. What am I doing? Let's just copy that over so you can kind of see that in context. Okay, I'll put the volume down just slightly. Okay, so that's just highlighting those little gaps in the melody. Let's listen to this again. Okay, so let's do the melody. The 2 flutes I'll use is how about the CSW ones, and just see how they sound. Let's listen to that once. Okay, so flute goes. Okay, let's play it. Downbeat. Pickup, I mean. Let's go a little quieter. Let's go 2 measures back. Also, let's assign the legato. Cool. The harmony is what really makes this very rich sounding. But let me just check the timing here. Okay, so it should be a quarter note here. Oh, I flubbed that note. Cool. There's a little bit of a crescendo happening that I might have to just bring volume in. Yeah, so da-da-da. Okay, so the harmony is a little harder to pick up. Okay, let's just do that much. So let's go over to the 2 flutes. I'm debating if I should do 2 flutes or the SFW Spitfire one. Since I said the 2 flutes, I'll stick with this and just see how it goes. So first off, is it C? Or is it F? No, it's probably C. So we gotta bring up this volume quite a bit. Okay, and then delete the overlap. Is that it? Oh, okay. Dun. So those notes. Let's see here. I think the first note. Huh. I'm hearing something else now. I'm hearing that. Da, da, na, na. Sorry, that should be a D. What is it? Wow. Okay. My head's playing tricks on me. I'm also looking at this A sharp now. I thought that was A flat, so that was throwing me off too. There you go. That's it. So far, it sounds good. I really like the CSW stuff. Okay. On solo. I think that's it. So go to the C. Like that. is this where it goes to the D? Okay, next. There's a clarinet that joins in here. And this is really hard to hear. If there's maybe like another extra voice playing a different harmony, but it's hard. I would assume they're playing the same thing. Maybe not. It's hard to say. I second guess myself here. Okay, let's look at the last note. If you're not sure, just pick a note. I think it's A flat there. Right? Yeah, so A flat on the last note. So we got the last note in. Let's figure out the rest. Now I'm hearing A flat. Maybe there's 3 flutes, because now I'm hearing A flat on top of this. Huh, interesting. Yeah, I think maybe there's 3 flutes. Yeah, I'm just gonna mess around with this for a second. Maybe there's 3 flutes. So yeah, look at that. So this would work in that chord. Let's see if that would work. Okay, that's what's happening. Because my ears are hearing sometimes the upper mid voice or the lower mid voice. So this is tricky. This is where you just kind of do detective work and maybe think about just voice leading with the chord. So excuse me, I'm assuming this is just part of the F minor chord. Well, there. Okay, so going back here, this is more detective work. I'm assuming this is like a A flat. Oh yeah. Also, with these orange notes, I do need to make them all sustained or longs. Right. So that's one idea. Then when we go down here, whoops, let's just do the orange notes. Let's bring, make sure that they fit in the chord somehow. Right? If we're adding another harmony down, we just go like a third below that, perhaps. Yeah, maybe a G. Okay, let's listen to this real quick. I don't think it goes to that G. I think it goes to F. Okay, and then the last thing is this one right here. Okay, and then we could probably do E flat, or excuse me, what would that be? F. Also, change the articulation again to sustain. Sustain. Oh yeah. Okay, so before in my previous section, I thought it was a clarinet, which very may well be, but maybe it's a three flute feature. It's just a three-part flute section. Okay, cool. And then I believe there's a timpani roll that gets you into the next section here. We'll let's add that in now. So, and then I also want to go back to this little piano section that I completely skipped out. We'll fix that in a second. So over here, there's a timpani roll. So I think it's on the second beat here. And let's see. It should be a F roll. Something like that. Maybe it go down. Okay, it's gotta be louder. Even louder. Yeah. Maybe just bump up that. Okay. So with the timpani roll, there's a bass drum hit. Shoom. This is a Jaeger bass drum. Okay. Okay. Cool. So now that we have that part down, let's go to back to the previous section. This is really important, actually. That piano needs to be there. There needs to be something playing at all times, right? For this song in particular. So let's listen to the piano on this section of the original. I think I remember this part. This is fairly easy, actually. Meaning, they do change, but the notes have to sort of accompany this part. So, for these four notes to work on a C minor and a D flat major seventh. It has to be that to sort of work. So let's go ahead and play that through with the metronome. That's basically the sound. I botched that. I'm gonna get the that's really hard to do in real time. Let's try it if I can. I'll give myself another chance here. So let's change this part here. I'm just gonna delete that and bring in this one. Oh, delete that too. Okay, so let's listen to this by itself. Probably in context is more musical, but I'm just gonna do a soft quantize on that. Let's see here. Okay. You know what's really hard about this is this transition. I don't know how a concert pianist would play that. Maybe you mute that. Maybe you mute these guys too. Okay, let's hear that in context. Okay, yeah, and of course some of the quantize pushes it to undesired spots. So let's fix that. Okay, so we're at the last section of this piece. How much time we have? So it's 10:10. All right, so we can finish this off. So this last section is more or less a copy and paste with some tweaking here and there, but pretty straightforward. I think we can go ahead and bring in this section. So this part. So it's this, but it's slightly different. There's not we have to change something at the ending, but the melody is not in the high strings. Well, it is in the strings, but it's an octave lower, and then it's more featured in the woodwinds and less about the strings. So that's another thing to fix. But I'm just going to do a quick global copy. While I do that, I saw a note from Emperor of Cheese. Have I tried any instruments from the Impact Soundworks? Yeah, I think I have. That's a company I like to get to know more, but I think I played around with some of the guitar stuff, but I don't think I own too many other things. Yeah, to be honest, so. But it's a good company. They have that string library, the Tokyo one that I'd love to get my hands on and play around with. Okay, so what we have here, all of these copied over, but it looks like there's some notes that aren't showing up. That's just because these notes are playing ahead of the beat. So if I stretch that over, most of those notes should be showing up now. Let's go ahead and should we just glue them together and see what it looks like? So we have this, and let's just do a quick little molding of all these data points. Let's look at all these guys real quick. All right, good. Let's see. Okay, so these are ones that we need to look into, which is wow, this really ahead of the beat. It's like a 16th note ahead of the beat. Let's look at this. Okay, so there's probably a crescendo here that we could sort of fade in more. Let's keep it like around there. Okay. Timpani should be extended out. Well, actually, let's do it on a new timpani line. How about that? So we go like this. What else? Gran Casa. Let's extend that out. Okay. I think we're good. So let's press play and see what it sounds like. Oh. Let's try that again. My computer bugged out there. So there's that. Let me just double check a few spots. Sometimes it glitches when stuff in the beginning is on, but it doesn't seem like it's on. Okay, so the last part, let's listen to the original. As I was saying, the high strings is actually brought down an octave, as you'll hear. Also, the piano seems to be changed here. It seems like it's doing something a little bit more complex. It almost sounds like it's just the left hand changes, but the right hand is still doing the da 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 da. We could mess around with that. That's probably one I overlooked actually on my own, but that's fine. Let's we can try working that into in this version, and let's see. So on the strings we have this guy. Let's bring this down a whole octave. Let's delete those. And then we could maybe bring down the volume here as well. Okay, so what else? We have the Woodwinds. Okay, so the oboe really needs to shine. So what I'm going to do is replace the oboe and clarinet that we have currently and bring it into this. Let's take it down an octave. Let's see, do like that. Yeah, Tokyo radar. Tokyo strings are on your radar. Cool. Yeah, and Woodwind, Ocarina. Yeah, they have some good stuff. Impact Soundworks. I believe Roger Wilbert. Excuse me, Wilbert Roget Wilbert. Excuse me, Roger Wilbert the Third. Fantastic game composer. Is part of that company, if I'm not wrong. Okay, now it's really glitching. Let's give my computer a rest. Okay, let's listen to just the Woodwinds. I feel like the bassoon also is playing that melody. So let's do that now and okay. Okay. And also the right hand seems to be an octave higher than it should be. Right? Yeah, that's not right. So let's bring this back down to where it was. Like that. Okay, some of this is not jiving. Also, shoot, before I do this, let me just make sure this stuff is not overlapping. Okay. Yeah, that's a good question. I'll have to think about that, Emperor of Cheese. I mean, there's always the greats, you know, John Williams, Alan Silvestri. There's so many. Thomas Newman. I like a lot of the Japanese composers out there. Yoko Kanno. But yeah, I'll have to like make a list sometime. I always forget. It's always hard to just say names on the spot. Okay, so this part is tricky. The reason why is because the left hand seems to be doing something a little bit different. So there's that, and then what's happening here? Okay, so I think what I did, it was something to the degree of I think I remember what I did now. I'll just show you guys what the notes are. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna do my cheat sheet again for the sake of time and energy. Let's go to this version. Oh, the reason why this is highlighted. So if I go here and I just take this little snippet, what I did was, give it a second for the copy paste. When you do a global copy paste, I noticed that the next paste or copying will take a bit. What happened? Oh, there it is. Okay, so let's listen to this. So yeah, it's a lot more complex than I would want to spend time again to figure out. I already spent a good hour or two on this previously, and just on this last section. So yeah, it's tricky, but basically the style of playing here is breaking up the chords or the arpeggios into two hands rather than before in these previous sections. So let's go ahead and press play. Okay, and there isn't a triangle, so let's delete that. The other thing to add to all of this that's happening is there's timpani. So the timpani is playing notes in basically what the bass line is playing. So you got the actually let's do this in the other bass or the other timpani instrument. So we have F, but it should be up here. Good. So something's the computer's not really liking something here. Every time it hits this section, it wants to just fizzle out for some reason. Oh, that worked. That time it worked. Maybe it was a time signature. I don't know. Anywho, so you have this hit, which probably is a bit loud. So let's bring it down. Okay, and then you have the classic bass line here, like that. So we're just gonna go over that again, and then one more here. And then it goes dun. Actually, you know what? Oh yeah, so da, na, na, na. So it goes to this E flat. What I'll do is let's put a note right here on this chord, and we'll call it E flat. All right, so going on to that, before going to change this last part of that measure, let's actually add these bass drum hits too. Okay. So you have all of that going. Is there anything else I'm missing? Maybe some Celeste? Let's see. Yeah. If anything, the bassoon can be a little louder. The oboe can be a little louder. It could be an English horn too. It's hard to say. Well, it's a little bit loud. Let's see. So all that to be said, the ending is a little different here. So Dun, na, na, na. Dun. So let's find all the melodic elements here, which are basically strings of woodwinds. And yeah, that's it. So here you would have to change that. So you go right there. I see your note there, Sam, about singing. Your dogs were singing, huh? That's funny. Yeah, so I know dogs that howl when you play an instrument, and you know you love them to death, but sometimes it's so distracting. Right. Okay. So then you can do some shaping to that if you needed to. But you guys get the gist here. What I'm gonna do is talk about this ending more than demonstrating all this other stuff about changing the notes and whatnot. I'm gonna go back to the original now. So let's actually pick all these instruments that have stuff in it real quick. So we'll go here. Let's do that. Any of these that may have been overlooked, let's just find all the version 2s. All right, let's go back here. Uh-oh, don't want that. There you go. Let's see if this shows up. Nope. What are we missing? That's okay. I think we can just duplicate like that. Okay, so the bassoon. I see. Just looking ahead here. Okay, so on this previous section, what I had going on is the ending, and I don't think I finished the ending, so I kind of wanted to go back and do the ending here. Gotta love the piano. I'm gonna have to isolate the piano so you can hear that. Really basic when you come to the idea. The idea is you're arpeggiating F minor chord, and then it goes to E or C minor here, and then goes to the what is that? F minor? Oh, actually here. And then it goes to E flat on that part. So C minor, E flat, and then it repeats, but from here it goes to F minor, C minor, and then B flat major. So that, excuse me. So then it repeats back to the first phrase over here. Really love that though. I love those just simplistic ideas that really show through. So, I mean, that's why Alexandre Desplat is one of the best. Here we go. So we're gonna press play. Okay, so the ending is really interesting. Couldn't really, I didn't have too much time to spend on the ending here previously when I was working before this live stream. So I want to just spend a moment to talk about it. Perhaps you guys have some insights as well from what you're hearing. Let me play you the original track. Sounds like this. So you can hear the percussion, the bass drum. I try to add that in as best as I could, but I think there's also let's see where it ends real quick. Right there, boom. So maybe we add a little bass drum hit there, and let's put a marker. Okay, so first off, this is the stuff I was able to hear in the Celeste, which is here. So it looks like this. And I'm not sure if that's right. Also, it could be a little louder. Let's see. So let's bring it up in CC11. Okay, and so on. Let's see if maybe if we level this with the velocities, it'll sound more loud as well. Okay, so there's this cool moment of, I mean, it could be Celeste, it could be also vibraphone. That's what I wanted to ask you guys. If you hear vibraphone, Sam thinks there's harp. Let's listen again. Right, it's really hard. I would say, yeah, like your guess of harp could be right. It's just so hard to hear. I'm sticking with either vibraphone with this Celeste. If you want to be simplistic, rather than adding a new instrument out of nowhere, which is the vibraphone, just to kind of keep it in that low Celeste range is the idea. Also, yeah, those notes are so low and dense. The only way to really hear them, and this is just more of a tip for anyone that wants to get better at transcribing stuff, is to slow it down. So what you would do is make sure you bounce this track out. So if you are ripping the track, you can do the bounce selection, and then put it into musical mode, and then you can slow it down to like 70 beats per minute, and you can hear it in context. You might be able to pick out other instruments too. Anyways, that's what I did. I'm not too confident on those notes there, but the only other thing I'm missing is the woodwinds. I actually completely left that out. The only one is probably clarinet that's just playing the melody here, but let's put those little woodwind spots in. Oh, sorry, it's over here. So there's some flute. So I'm hearing dun dun dun. Let's put in this one right here. Let's try again. So I'm hearing like that. I can play it like that, or just make them, turn them into short articulations like staccato or something like that. Okay, so let's bring that in. I'm actually in the slower tempo. I sped that up again. Okay, let's listen. Let's keep going. I thought I heard like an A flat in there, like a just on 63, which is interesting. Put this up. Is it actually not? It's probably a C. Yeah, and then just do it again. Okay, and this is what we have. Okay, so Guy Shard's saying it ends with the piano on an arpeggiated chord. I must have overlooked that. So let's see. Whereas, oh, I see. So you're saying C, E, G, C? I see. Yeah. Yeah, my ears are picking out something different here now. I'm hearing man, so weird things happen when you're playing it, listening to it over and over in different times. Oh, this might be wrong. Let's see. The ending. Let's try this. I think there, yes. So there's a C on the bottom, right? I think that's what I'm hearing now. Although this stuff, I'm not sure if this is entirely right now. It works. But let's see here. Yeah, and I would have to hear in context or what you are saying, Guy. I'm sure you're hearing something else that I'm not hearing. But I did fix one thing, which I believe this is right now with that bottom note. Let's hear this one more time. I could just go for hours like this, right? But at some point we have to call it. So let me try one more pass listening to this original, slowed down. I'm hearing. Oh, I'm kind of hearing that with the left hand, because someone said, I think it was Sam, saying, is there something else more going on with the keyboards, or the Celeste specifically? But it could be this that I'm hearing. Okay, let's go fast and see how it sounds. Maybe a little swell on some of those, but and that Celeste just needs a little more bass. Something to that degree. Boom. Okay. F key is C and C, provided that you are an E flat major or C minor, of course. Yeah. In this case, I believe we're in F minor, but yeah, I think we're just kind of extending this out on a bed of F all the way through. With that being said, this Celeste thing is throwing us for a loop, I guess, in terms of the type of harmony that we're in. I'm assuming there's not really a chord progression or chord per se for something like this. It's just kind of dancing around the fifth and the flat six as well as the fourth, something around that effect. Just gives uncertainty. With that being said, though, I think we are good to play this full all the way back from the top. And let me just do some nice housekeeping for everything here. I did actually delete or muted this, but you know what? Let's bring it back in for the hell of it. And I'll just go ahead and keep that there for now, even though it's only on the beginning. Let's see. Okay, so this is pretty much it. What I like to do as just as a last final touch is go through all the MIDI and just make sure that I have all my data points in here. I kind of go through all of that. If there's anything missing, definitely need to fix it or add some data to set it in the right spots. For the most part, it looks good. This one is good. Okay. Let's look at the zebra real quick, that green one. Yeah. That one's good. Okay. So then the other thing I do is I just go back to the top. Anything that has key switches, like this one, you want to make sure that they all have things assigned to it. All the notes are assigned with the articulation. And once you see that's good, this one's missing this one. These two are missing right here. Let's just go like this. Like that. Okay, we're close. Yeah, pretty good. Okay, So just some basic housekeeping there. Let's go ahead and press play. This is the Imitation Game theme. There seems to be a stuck note. Let me play back again. Okay. Oh, something happened there. Oh, I think I know what happened. I think when I was doing the housekeeping stuff, I just realized that there's extra stuff that was undesired stuff that was in there. Yeah, okay. That's what happened. Let me fix that real quick. Hopefully that was the gist of it. Well, sometimes that happens. Let me go press play here. Okay, so I'll have to go back and fix that. So I don't know if that made sense. Sometimes when you do a global copy paste, all this information here gets in there as well. So you just have to delete that. When sometimes you do this and you do a paste or you glue two events together, it'll actually take that information that's over here and glue it in. So for some reason that was overlooked and I didn't notice, and so you had a whole passage of notes that wasn't supposed to be there. Anywho, I think we got it for the most part. Thank you for watching. Again, it's a pleasure to do these live streams with you all. Be sure to check out the next time that we do this live stream, probably next week. Um, um, as long as I'm willing and able and have time to do it. Sometimes I'll get a movie where I'll be gone for a whole month. When things like that happen, I'll try to be better at letting you guys all know. But we're back in action. Summer is over, and I hope you guys all have a wonderful weekend. I'll see you next time. Take care.